Hello everyone, Happy New Year's Eve. Thanks for tuning in to today's final video of 2024. We're going to do a 10 to 14 day for you for this final video. So we're going to be looking at weather the next 10 to 14 days. Day 10 will take us to the 10th of January. And we'll be able to extend out beyond that with the excellent GFS and ECM ensembles. Maybe on a couple of weeks. We'll have a look at CFS V2 at the end of the video for the next 4 weeks and for January. I'll get on that for you in a moment. Just to say about the first video today was our 6 AM UK weather forecast. Please like, share, subscribe on both of today's videos. Thanks so much everyone for doing that as we count down the minutes. Well, the hours down the minutes to the end of 2024. What a strange year it's been. I'm gonna say I'll be glad to see the back of it. That's just me. I don't have the best of years. Anyway, we'll talk about 2024, you know, and what's ahead at the end of the video. Right, well, we always start off with this on New Year's Eve. So it is now 46 years since the ferocious and famous New Year's Eve, or New Year freeze and blizzard of 1978-1999. That is the chart for New Year's Eve, 1978. What a chart it is. One for the record books. Low pressure into France, jet stream down to Spain, and look at that easterly wind screeching in all the way from the Urals, bringing extremely cold air in from the east. Check out those upper air temperatures, a massive pool of cold air, but stretches all the way back to Siberia, sweeping across Western Russia into Northern Europe and out into the west of Europe as well. That produced a tremendous snowstorm across many parts of the country on the 30th and the 31st of December. Then on New Year's Day, I think things calmed down a little bit. The isobars opened out, so we lose that tremendous easterly wind. There was still snowfalls around on New Year's Day, and it was a very, very cold New Year as well, bitterly cold upper air temperatures. And of course, that sets up what was our last sub-zero CT January in sorry everyone, in 1979. So we wait and see when the next sub-zero CT January will be. It was only 14 years ago, but we had a sub-zero CT December, so it's still possible to get a sub-zero CT month given the right synoptics, but it's certainly been a long time since it happened in January. I was 2 years, 3 months old in January 1979, and I am 47 now. So, you know, it's certainly, when it happens, it will certainly be a long time coming if it happens. But there we go. We always start our New Year's Eve 10 to 14 day with that little recap of the new year of 1978, 1979. Let me know, please, everyone in the comments if you remember that. Right, well, let's have a look at central England temperature. The CT is still sitting at 6.8. That's 2.2 degrees above 61 to 1990 average, and it's provisional to yesterday to be 30th of December. That might tick up to 6.9 dates tomorrow for December overall, but it's going to come in under 7 degrees, I think, but still around a couple of degrees above the old and cold temperature average. Another very, very mild December. Well, things are on the change, and these are GFS upper air temperature and precipitation ensembles for the next couple of weeks. We're at Northampton, therefore have a look at Northampton, my local town, for the final video of the year, if that's all right with everyone. The 30-year upper air temperature, the red light is a 30-year upper air temperature average for Northampton. We're starting off above average with the upper air temperatures at the moment, but they're going to be sliding away through the rest of the new year. And the GFS looking pretty solid, I have to say, for about a week to 10 days of cold conditions, cold and average conditions. We do see a few ensemble members lifting up just here, around the 5th to the 6th of January. That's the early part of next week. Still some uncertainty with that low pressure to the south that wants to come northwards and introduce milder air. How far north will it get? Will it bring mild air into the south? Will it bring disruptive snow as well? You know, it's all to be determined. Still uncertainty for the end of the weekend and the beginning of next week. But overall, the GFS ensembles look pretty good if you want an extended period of colder weather until we get towards the middle part of January. And then we've got the milder ensemble members up here. We've got colder ensemble members that are down there. Precipitation-wise, we look like this. So we've got wet and windy weather tonight and tomorrow. Although, to be honest, I know that a lot of events have been cancelled, and to me, it doesn't look bad enough to be cancelling events, I have to say. But there we go. That's a sign of the times, isn't it? But it will be a bit wet and windy. I mean, it's winter night. You know, it's the middle of winter night. You got to expect a bit of wet and windy weather, really, at this time of the year. But I don't think it's going to be anything particularly, you know, out of the ordinary for the time of the year. But anyway, that's not for me to judge, you know, and I'm not responsible for those events anyway. So after that, it turns drier and colder through the end of the week and into the weekend. Then we have the precipitation spikes just here. That's associated with all of this uncertainty around there. And then after that, we're drier again as it becomes colder once more through the course of next week. What about Snow Road for Northampton? How's that looking? Oh, well, that looks quite interesting, doesn't it? At the end of the weekend, start of next week, big snow spikes there. So, you know, it's a do or die, this area of low pressure. It could bring significant snow, but also introduce temporarily some milder air for a day or two. It could stay to the southwest and not produce any snow, and then so there won't be much snow around then through the weekend and next week, but it will be a sustained colder period. All to be determined, all to be revealed what's happening in that period. And if we go to Derby, not as many snow spikes there, but still looking pretty decent. And then Middlesbrough looks like that. Now that looks really good for Middlesbrough. The only thing with that is we'll probably bring snow showers in off the coast though through there, so looking quite snowy for Middlesbrough there. Okay, well, let's move on to temperature anomalies from the 31st of December to the 8th of January. Colder than average, not just the UK, not from most parts of northern and also Western Europe. And precipitation anomalies from the 31st of December to the 8th of January, varying from area to area. So above average precipitation for northern Scotland, northern England and southern England. Drier through the Midlands, drier towards Northern Ireland, south western Scotland. Remember, as it's cold, those above average areas of precipitation may not just be rain, they could be snow, particularly for Northern England and into Scotland, I'd suggest. Okay, so latest wind map from NoelSchool.net shows we've got quite a vigorous area of low pressure in control today. It's sitting to the northwest of Scotland. There's a weather front coming through here, bringing a lot of rain. And once that weather front clears through overnight tonight and into tomorrow, then that is when the wind will start to pull around to that colder northerly, and so the cold spell begins setting on New Year's Day. Right, well, let's start going through the chart data. That's what you're waiting for. This latest UK Met Euro run is looking for midnight on Friday. There's low pressure in across Scandinavia, high pressure out in the Atlantic, and we're bringing in this cold northwesterly wind. Low pressure then pushing to the north, could bring significant snow northern areas on Saturday. Then we're watching this area of low pressure. This is a troublemaker. This is what's been causing all of the headaches and uncertainty within model output. This low here, how far northwards is that low going to get? Actually, the midnight UK Met run runs that in through France and Bay of Biscay and just keeps us in most cold north or northeast winds, and probably only brings snow to the far south and the southeast. So by the end of the UK Met Euro run, we're looking well set for a prolonged spell of cold weather, big blocking air of high pressure around Greenland, Iceland, and winds are coming down from a bitterly cold northeasterly direction. This low troublemaker is keeping us, keeping it to the south and east of us, really, but might produce some snow into the south and southeast. Now compare that with the Icon midnight run, and again we see a similar scenario for Friday. Winds in from the northwest. But then look how much further north this area of low pressure is on Sunday into Monday. So instead of running in across France, it actually pushes northwards across England and Wales. There's a big mild sector in with that. So probably slow temporarily for England and Wales, but very quickly going back to rain. The snow risk with that is really through northern England, southern Scotland and northern Ireland, where we remain in those cold east to northeasterly winds. By Tuesday the 7th of January, the low is shifting off into the North Sea and back into the north. The winds are going. So after a minor interruption Sunday to Monday, for the south anyway, by Tuesday we're back into those cold northerly winds once again. The 12Z icon is actually updating right now, so that's always the first model to come out. Let's see what the 12Z does with that area of low pressure. This is hot off the presses as we are doing the video. So how far north is that low gonna get? I think the low could be a bit further southwards on the 12Z, so probably brings milder air into the south, but overall that looks a little bit better, I have to say, especially for Wales and the Midlands, for keeping it cold. And that's how we look by Monday. We're all back into those cold north and northeast winds, much further, well, not much further south, but quite a bit further south, with that low pressure on the latest 12Z icon run, telling us that the uncertainty with this area of low pressure, remember this is coming in on Sunday if it does, the uncertainty with this area of low pressure goes on, but it looks like icon is setting up a prolonged cold pattern there through next week, regardless of how far north that area of low pressure gets. Now we've got KMA, which looks like that. That's hot off the presses, everyone. Just updating while I'm recording the video. Exclusive content. Right, this is how the KMA is looking. Now, KMA is quite a bit further north with that area of low pressure. Not as far as the icon midnight. Well, it is actually. So, yes, the KMA bringing a big mild sector up across England and Wales. And it's some of Scotland, northern England, but might get snow on the northern side of that low. Then another low pushes in. That'd be relatively mild conditioning with it. So actually no particularly cold spell with the KMA. The KMA is pretty much eradicated. Oh dear. For Goldies, it's pretty much eradicated there. The cold spell, I think, with the KMA. Blimey. So, again, you pay your money, you take your choice. Which model do you think? It's Model Mayhem, everyone, on this New Year's Eve. Absolute mayhem. This is how a GFS midnight run is looking. So, once again, we've got that high pressure to the west of us on Friday, bring the wind in from the northwest. How far north does it get that area of low pressure? Sunday to Monday. Actually keeps across France. Only the extreme south England, I'm talking about south of the M4, probably get snow with that. Otherwise, we're just kept in those northeast winds. They could bring snow showers with them, though, so that's something we'll know a little bit closer to the time frame, just how much convection there is with these northeasterlies. But like a prolonged cold spell, keeps it cold through next week with the GFS midnight run. We lose the northerly, but the high pressure is a cold high, but sunk down over the country there by day 10. That'll bring some really hard overnight frost. And then the extended range high pressure set up over to the east of the country, keeping it very cold and frosty. Low pressure having a go coming in from off the Atlantic, possibly going a bit milder there by mid-January, but that is a very, very, very long way off. And let's have a look at the 6Z. So once more, we've got that area of high pressure over and to the west of the country on Friday. How far north does it get with below sunny to Monday? Again, keeping it over France. Such a big difference between the GFS and the midnight icon run, for example, with that low. No, the GFS 6 anyway keeps us in those cold north or northeast winds through the weekend and into next week. Bitterly cold spell of weather setting up next week. Hard overnight frost, snow shower, particularly into the northeast. That's a massive blocking area of high pressure pressure we see there through Greenland and Iceland as well. Now, beyond day 10, well, we keep it cold. That's the 12th of January, for example. Bitterly cold across British Northern Europe. We're cold as well, with that -5 Celsius iceberg. And then low pressure starts having a go, coming in from off the Atlantic and dislodging that cold. So all sorts of fun and gains are possible here as these low pressures start piling up in the Atlantic. That could be a snowstorm, for example, there by the 16th of January, but it's much too far away, that kind of detail. But basically with GFS 6, they're keeping it bitterly cold from tomorrow through to the middle of January. If you enjoyed the video, please do like, share and subscribe. Thanks so much everyone for doing that. Why not drop a comment? Let us know what you think about this and all of our videos and content. And don't forget to tell your friends about GavsWeatherVids. Thank you so much everyone for doing that. And we've put around 25-30 subscribers to get ourselves to 19.3k. So if you could give us a sub, that'd be absolutely awesome. And thank you so much everyone for doing that. And happy New Year's Eve everyone. It's New Year's Eve. Blimey, are you reveling tonight? Don't have too much of a magic. Well, no, have as much magic water as you want. It's New Year's Eve. Why not? Gav gives you permission. Right, GM again with high pressure out to the west on Friday, bringing down that northwesterly wind into the weekend, much further north with the area of low pressure for GEM. That brings milder air in across England and Wales, but doesn't get up to Scotland or Northern Ireland. There we keep the cold northeasterly going, and through the early part of next week, those cold northerly winds then come back as the low pressure clears away to the south of the east. And high pressure builds through the country, and check out where the high pressure goes day 9-10. Yes, it becomes a Scandi. We get a Scandinavian high, which is something a bit different. We haven't seen much of that within the model output, but the GEM produces a Scandinavian high and an easterly wind there coming in all the way from western Russia. The east is not a beast from the east. It's not extremely calm, but it will certainly have a chill to it because it's coming over what would be a pretty snow-covered continent, I think, at that point. And it will be bringing snow showers from the east as well, especially into more southern and eastern areas. So there we are. We've got a Scandi at 1,050 millibars on the gem. We love a Scandinavian at GavsWeatherVids. Ooh, matron. ECM looking like this is ECM operational model. We are actually going to show you the ECM AI, artificial intelligence model, as well on this video. More about that in a moment. But this is the generic ECM computer model with high pressure over and to western country on Friday, bringing down those chilly northerly winds. And then look at this, low pressure much further north with the ECM as well, bringing a lot of wet weather and also relatively mild weather with it through sunny to muddy. But cold with that will be restricted really just to Scotland, to be honest. And then that low pressure takes a while to get out of the way, so it's not until the middle of next week, but we start bringing those colder winds back in from the north. Then the end of next week up to daytime, probably mostly dry and cold, but very quickly after that we start dragging up these milder southwesterly winds. So ECM continues to be the Grinch here. Let's quickly go back to the Icon 12 because I think that will be fully out now. So let's see how it looks at 180 hours. Yeah, the Icon 12 there is much better for cold. It restricts that low pressure again to the south through Sunday to Monday, or a lot further south anyway, brings the cold air back quickly even to southern areas at the beginning of next week, and then keeps things cold throughout to the middle of next week anyway. I think that'll keep things cold right way to the end of next week. So there's a good week of cold weather there, potentially very cold weather with Icon, and potentially significant snow as well, Sunday to Monday for like Wales and Midlands, possibly Northern England as well. Icon is back in the cold camp tonight, I think. Right, the other 12 step will be rolling out in the next few hours. Okay, let's have a look at the precipitation forecast based on the ECM model that was just looked at a moment ago. So got this wet and windy weather coming southwards and eastwards tonight and into tomorrow. Again, it's like standard winter there. I don't see anything particularly outrageous or out of the ordinary with it. So again, I'm not sure why all these events are being cancelled, but there we go. Once that gets out of the way, then we're opening the door to those cold northerly winds, snow showers into the north and wintry showers around the coast. Significant snow there from Sunday into Monday for Ireland, many parts of England, Wales. Low pressure gets in, but very quickly that will turn back to rain as the milder air comes in from the southwest. Remember, there's so much uncertainty though with that low pressure and how deep it gets, how far north it gets from Sunday into Monday. But I would stay cautious about any sort of forecast on that for the moment. Up to day 10, mostly dry, more wet weather lurking in the winds at day 10. These are the options on the table within the ECM ensembles today for day 10 from the Icelandic Met Office. Gets us to the 10th of January, 16 members of the ECM ensembles with high pressure to the south and also to the northwest. Mostly dry at that and probably a little bit on the cool side as well, probably still quite calm, active control operational. We've got 11 with high pressure more towards Iceland and Greenland, probably bringing in more of a northeast easterly wind. That looks quite cold. We've got 8 with low pressure in off the Atlantic. That's going to be milder. We have got another 8 with high pressure centred over Greenland, low pressure to our south and east. That looks like it should be cold and wintry. And then we've got a further 8 with high pressure, looking like it's trying to get to Scandinavia. It looks like it's trying to get to Scandinavia and get a wind in from the east. In 2 weeks' time, these are the options that we've got. Lots of them. Gets us to the middle of January. 14 members of the ECM ensembles in high pressure to our south, and we're bringing up the wind for a southerly direction. We've got 10 doing the control and the operation run with high pressure over to the east of the country. That's technically going to be mild, but wouldn't take that much to keep things cold with a continental flow. We've got another 10 here, low pressure in off the Atlantic, probably bringing in a milder southwesterly wind. We've got 6 with high pressure between Iceland and Scandinavia. That will bring in an easterly wind. That's kind of similar to the jam. I think we've got another 6 with high pressure in the Atlantic, bringing down quite a cold north-northwesterly. And then finally we've got 5 with high pressure to our north and northwest, and winds are coming in from a cold northeasterly direction. So a range of options at both day 10 and day 14 telling us that it's a lot, loads of uncertainty within the ECM. Now that is all from the generic ECM and its ensembles. What about the artificial intelligence version though, the AI version? Is AI going to replace Gav? Could you design a robot that could do Giddy Gav? I don't know, maybe one day in the future, but I think it'll be a long time coming, perhaps. Or then again, maybe next year it'll replace me. I don't know. Well, anyway, here we go. Mr. GFS Artificial Intelligence ZigZag run. So look how that restricts that low pressure starting to Monday into France. The AI model wants to keep that low well to the south and bring the wind in from the north and the northeast. So the ECM is at odds with itself, with its computer model, with its artificial intelligence model. I don't know, it's very confusing, isn't it? So next week, actually we keep wind in from the north and from the northeast. Stays bitterly cold throughout most of next week. But ridge eventually starts moving down over the country, but that will bring some hard overnight frost, and that's a setup at day 10. Beyond that, a bit of a hint of a Scandinavian high as well with the AI version, and that's a setup by the middle of January. So Scotland still cold there, probably milder for England and Wales, but only a subtle adjustment south with that low will keep things cold. The AI version of the ECM is a lot better if you want colder weather. So we shall see. It's all to be revealed. It's all to play for. Right, so CFS V2, and then we're done. We did it at the end of this epic New Year's Eve video, final video of 2024. Thank you so much, everyone, for sticking with it. Just got CFS to go. So these are 500 millibar high times broken down into weekly periods. The first week period takes from the 31st to 6th of January. High pressure in the Atlantic up towards Greenland, low pressure to our northeast, and winds coming in from a cold northerly direction. Week 2 is also looking cold. It's the 7th, 13th of January, low pressure over northern Europe, high pressure towards Greenland, and winds coming down from Sorry again, everyone, from that cold north or northeast direction. Cold and wintry there for the second week of January from the CFS. Staying cold into week 3. It's the 14th. 20th of January, high pressure blocking round Greenland, trough low pressure to the northeast and in the Atlantic. I think that's keeping us colder. Though below in the south might be threatening milder weather, but could also be threatening snow into the south. And then week 4, that does go milder. It's the 21st to 27th of January. Heights then build to our south. Low pressure develops out in the Atlantic, and we ship a wind around to our southwesterly, but we have got a blocking feature up towards Greenland still. So by week 4, we're back to something a bit milder. Of course, that's a long way off, and we've got a lot of weather to get through before that. Week 1 temperature anomalies from the CFS, 31st December, 6th of January are colder than average. Week 2 is also colder than average as well. It's a turn up for the books, isn't it, from the CFS? It's 13th January with below average temperature. Look how cold it is across northern Europe as well. Really plunged into the freezer there across northern parts of Europe. Week 3 looks like that. So a little bit less cold, but probably still on the below average side. And then finally, we're back to something a bit milder for week 4. And this is how January is looking overall from the CFS. Now, this is a big change on what the CFS monthlies have been showing on a daily basis for several weeks since the start of December. This is the final time, actually, but CFS Monthly will be forecasting January. And now it's a very strong blocking signal round Greenland, Iceland, low pressure down here, and winds coming in from the east-northeast direction. So as all of the other models have shifted, so too has the CFS. Consequently, we see something very unusual for these monthly charts, which is a slightly colder than average January being forecast there, not just for the UK, but also cold and average across Northern Europe. And you notice Eastern America looking cold in January as well. And precipitation-wise, so see where the blocking is, up towards Iceland and Greenland. Lower pressure with wetter conditions down towards Spain and Portugal. Negative AO. January, yielding a colder than average month. We shall see. That's a big change on what the CFS was forecasting just a few days ago for January. Big shift. So how seriously you take that, given the performance of the model up to this point, we'll see. We'll just see what happens, and it shall all be revealed. Okay, well, that is your final video of 2024. We have to say we're counting down the hours and the minutes and the seconds to see the back of this year. Personally, I'd be glad to see the back of it. I had a bad time of it in the summer with my fractured ankle, but I'm sure you'll all remember. No holiday for me this year, because my holiday was like 10 nights in NGH. With my leg up in the air, keeping it elevated to try and get the swelling to go down. I mean, I've had worse. 2022 was my worst ever year. It's not been as bad as that, but it's not been much of a year. So I say, be glad to see the back of this year. It's been a pretty decent year for the channel, though. And as we come to the end of 2024, we are, really quite close now, getting to 20,000 subscribers. So I want to thank you all so very much for the support through this year, especially when I had to go off for all that time, very suddenly. And you was all there when I came back, and you always are, no matter what disasters, what pitfalls I encounter. When I get back, you're always there for me. So I want to thank you all so much for not going off and finding another channel and whatnot. And I want to say thank you so much for, liking, sharing, subscribing, all of that good stuff throughout the year. It's been absolutely epic, absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for the support on the live streams as well. The live streams have been really epic. And as I always say, the live streams are only as good as the people that are watching them and engaging with them. So it's you that make the live streams, not me. I'm the smallest cog in the wheel with those live streams. Sort of you with your engagement in the live streams that make it. So thank you so much, everybody, for all of the wonderful live streams streams that we've had. Amazing live stream just on Friday, where you sent me over £300 in donations. That was absolutely incredible as well. And, you know, thank you so much for your donations on the live streams through PayPal, channel membership, you know, super thanks, super chats, all of that. It really is greatly appreciated. It does help to pay for me to have the channel and be able to do this. So I thank you again so much, you know, so much for support. And if you're not able to support in that way, you know, you can watch the video ads as well, because that's helping to pay for the channel. And just subscribe and telling your friends about GavsWeatherVids is an amazing way to help support the channel, you know, and grow the channel. And the bigger we get, the better. So thank you so much for an amazing 2024 for the channel, even if it wasn't up to much for me. I hope you have a wonderful time tonight, whatever you're doing, whether you're having a quiet one at home or going out reveling if the event hasn't been cancelled. You know, I hope you have an absolutely amazing time. Stay safe tonight and stay well as well. And we shall see you next year. So for this one, that's all for now, and thanks for watching.